A day in the life, talking with the Beatles. I have talked with the Beatles. Paul McCartney, John Lennon, briefly. George Harrison, he was trapped off in a room with me for about an hour in 1983, so I had a good old chat with George, my preferred Beatle anyway. So even though I didn't behave myself as I might have, if someone would have said, now George Harrison's coming over and you guys are going to be alone for about an hour, so pull yourself together. He just knocked on the door. Suddenly there he was, and I knew it was me and him. His wife was there, but she kind of stayed away, thankfully and mostly. So 3 Beatles I've had a chance to speak to. George at the Everson Museum of Art in 1971 on his birthday, October 9th. I was young, 18, something, 17, and I managed to talk my way in. It's something that an art that I perfected over the years, to places I shouldn't have been, probably, and spoke to him and also Yoko. Not so much, but later I knew Yoko a lot. And all these kind of literary adventures found their way in a book called A Day in the Life Talking with the Beatles. And it's not just the Beatles, of course. It's their spouses, their children, George Martin, the people around them, musicians, people from Liverpool, Mike McGear, who was in the band Scaffold and did a wonderful album with Paul, in which he did one of the best pop songs I've ever heard, called "The Man Who Found God on the Moon." You should find that on YouTube. It's really good. So I popularized this genre of interview books. As I say, just maybe a few people had done these kind of books before me, but I was the one who really popularized it, and with the help of my publishers, obviously, was able to push those out around the world, and famously did those books with some success. They didn't make lots and lots of money, but they were a good, steady seller. But more importantly than all that was, it's a record, a historical record of people that have, most of whom I suppose at this point, because the Beatles were a good 10 years older than me, have passed on, and a lot of these people are gone. They were on the periphery to begin with, and now they're gone. So whatever interactions they had, stories of the studio, stories of the Fool, Barry and Yasha, Marika, Simone, from the Fool in Amsterdam. I got to know all those people. They had wonderful stories. And 3 of them, Marika's the only one still with us, and she's very elderly. So I'm happy and proud that I was able to do these kind of books. And A Day in the Life particularly was a book that has a lot of rare and wonderful interviews that justify its existence. Hopefully, with God's help, we'll put out a new version in 2024.